In this video, I'm going to talk about how we're scaling our info product with Meta Ads. I'm actually going to go into my ad account. I'm going to show you exactly how we do things, campaigns, ad sets, and ads, and also our metrics, how much we spent, how much we made, all those numbers and everything that you need to know to scale your info product with Meta Ads is going to be in this video. I've done over 20 million plus in revenue, and I'm making this video to show you exactly how we do things. If you like this video, then reach out to me on Facebook. All right, so I am in my ad account, as you can see, and we have this Chrome extension that gives me the accurate data. So I can see exactly what campaign is working, what campaign is not working. We have multiple different ad accounts, but we're gonna go through a couple of them. So first of all, I'm looking at last 30 days. So in this dashboard here, as you can see, for the last 3 months, we've done over $182,000 in revenue and $134,000 in ad spend. Okay, so that's the cost, how much we spend on ads. Now that is in between Meta ads and Facebook ads and all those things. And this revenue is not everything. We have other revenues like back and mid-ticket offer, high-ticket offer that goes straight into our payment processor. We actually have more revenue than reported right here. So let's jump right into the ad account. As you can see, we have this extension. It's a Chrome extension. As you can see, it's right here. This is basically connected to our ad account and then also connected to our CRM and payment processor. So it'll bring all the data directly into the dashboard so I can see exactly what is working and what is not. For example, here it says I have 82 purchases, but I only have 30 purchases, as you can see. So I know this data is more accurate because I can click on it and it will show me all the emails and exactly what they bought, when they bought. It will show me all this data that I can click and verify. So I'm going to customize the column just so that I have the right column that I need. I'm going to look at cost per unique lead, ROAS, and also profit. Let's look at profit too. So all of this looks good. So looking at the campaign in the last 30 days, this one has the highest ROAS. As you can see, ROAS of 2.59. This one has 2.81, and this one has 2.22 as well. So these are our best performing campaign, as you can see, and then they have pretty good revenue as well. So a pretty good ad spend as well. So, and then we have pretty good profit on those campaigns as well. So we're gonna look into those campaigns, exactly what we do things, how we do things, and we're gonna go deeper into it. So those campaigns are still running. So let's start with this one right here, 2.81 ROAS. So this one. So if I edit the campaign, you will see we have a whole bunch of different ad sets, and this is a broad audience. Okay, so this is like we're trying to like go after bigger audience, as big audience as possible. And typically that is something that we have seen. The bigger the audience, the campaign seems to last longer. They seem to do better for a longer time. And this is also ad set budget. Over here it says CBO, but it looks like it's actually ad set budget. When I go into the ad set, as you can see, the budget is here at the ad set. So that's an ad set budget campaign, by the way. And then inside the campaign, we have 4 different ad sets. And this one ad set is the one that's turned on right now, which means the others did not perform. So that is the one that's doing better. So that's how it looks. We typically start with like 3 or 4 different ad sets. You will see us do that quite often. And the goal is to find a winner. Just because we have 4 ad sets doesn't mean all of them are going to make money. Basically, what we're trying to do is find the one that works and then keep that running, and everything else we turn off. So this one is running, and then we go into the ad and we use the same framework in the ad as well, which is basically have 4 or 5 different ads. Sometimes we have 10, 20 different ads, but then we keep turning them off and then we land on 1 or 2 ads that makes money. So this is the framework that we use right here. And for us, we always start with new campaigns. Like we don't always use the existing campaign. We start with new campaign. So for example, here we have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So we start with phase 1, we test. That's when we're testing everything new. So the interest is new, the ad are new, right? We don't have much proven data to work with. That's when we go into phase 1. Phase 2 is typically we have something that's working. For example, let's say we're using proven ads with the new interest. So that's phase 2. And phase 3 is something that's already proven to work. If I have an interest, let's say Bentley or Rolls-Royce, right? Those interest, people who are interested in Bentley or Aston Martin. If I know people are interested in those things and I know that interest works, I know that ad in that campaign works, then what I'm doing is that I'm taking that to phase 3 and I'm putting more budget behind it. I'm scaling it. So that's basically what phase 3 is. So let's go to a different campaign, see how that is set up. So this one right here has 2.59. So let's go into this campaign. So this one is a campaign budget. So this is a CBO. As you can see, a lot of our campaign are lifetime budget. We do lifetime budget because that seems to spend the budget more effectively. For example, if we have $2,000 $60 budget, right? And then it has 30 days to spend. So that's $66 per day. By doing so, it can spend $60 one day, it can spend $20 other day, right? So what will happen is that if there is a day where we have tons of customer, then it will spend more money that day, and then other day it will just spend less money. So it does better. Like we see way better results with lifetime budget. And then we don't use A/B test, we don't use any of the other things, to be honest. We do exclude past buyers, we exclude some visitors as well, all those things. But yeah, in terms of auction, it is just an auction. You have auction and you have reservation, but pretty much everybody just uses an auction. In terms of campaign objective, sales, right? I don't think I have to say this, but all you're gonna do is just use sales. If you're running ads for purchase, okay, if you're running ads for purchase, then I would highly recommend you run ads to sales, because there is leads, there is engagement, there is traffic, there is awareness. I wouldn't recommend doing any of those. If you have a low ticket offer, front end offer, if you have an info product, if you're selling a course, right, you're getting them to buy right away, then you need to do sales, because Facebook is really good at finding the people that you're looking for. For example, if you look for leads and traffic, it's gonna send you a whole bunch of people that will opt in, that will give you the lead, but they're not gonna convert. If you run ads to traffic, it's gonna send you a whole bunch of people to your website, but they're not gonna convert. So what you need is you need to run ads to sales, because that's when you're actually gonna get people who are actually interested and who might buy the things from you. For example, even here as well, what you can do is that even if you run ads to the sales, you can actually optimize for different event. So you have purchase event, you have add to cart, you have, let's say, schedule event, you have initiate a checkout, you have a whole bunch of different events. 99% of the time, I always run ads to purchase, because that always seems to work. Facebook is just really good at finding the people that you're looking for. They know everybody, because everybody has Facebook pixel on their website. So Facebook algorithm like knows who is visiting on what website and what they might buy and all those things. So Facebook will actually find the right people. All you need to do is just make sure you have all the data in the pixel. You use CAPI or whatever, like make sure it is all set up on your website, and make sure you're sending the data back to Facebook so that Facebook knows exactly who your buyers are and it can optimize for those people. But if you run initiate checkout, add to cart, you're going to get a whole bunch of people add to cart. It is so crazy that Facebook will find those people. You're going to have the cheapest cost per add to cart, but they're not going to buy. Yes, there will be some people that will buy, but your cost per purchase is generally going to be higher if you optimize for add to cart. Yeah, in terms of attribution model, you can just use standard or you can use something else. I recommend testing it. There's other ways you can test as well. This is just small little things. You can test it, you can see how it does. I don't think this makes a huge difference, to be honest. The thing that makes a huge difference is the start date. I always start my campaign at the midnight. Why do you ask? Because let's say if I start my campaign at 5 p.m. right? And my budget is, let's say, $100. What I will try to do is that from 5 p.m. to 12 p.m., by that like 7 hours of whatever the time that is, right? You will try to spend all the money, all the $100 in like the 7 hours. But if you start your campaign at 12 p.m., 12 a.m. in the night, now it has 24 hours to spend that $100. And it's going to spend that budget more effectively. But if you give the budget right away, then it's just going to spend a whole bunch of money and it's not going to give you the right customer. And we have seen that again and again. We analyze data, we look at our data, we track our revenue, we track our sales, and we track our LTV, we track our AOV, and we know exactly what those customers are doing, when they're buying, when they're not buying, when Facebook is basically just losing money for us, right? The next thing that we also do is schedule our ads. For example, we noticed that especially like at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., right, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., people don't buy. Like people are sleeping. Even if you're a night owl, you may actually work till like 1 o'clock. People are not necessarily doing things in the night to buy, right? Because they're like tired, they're not thinking straight. Yeah, no one's gonna buy. You may get some clicks because there are people who cannot sleep in the night. They wake up, they check their cell phone, right? But you're not gonna get as much sale. And we noticed that we had a higher CPA in the morning. Because of that, we now don't run ad in the morning. So as you can see, we only schedule from 6 a.m. all the way to 1 a.m. But we don't run from 3, 4, 5. So that is the time that we don't run our ads. So we also know our audience age as well, gender, and all those things. Typically, our customers are 50 plus. You should know that. That is kind of a mandatory thing. You can run 25 plus if you want to do it, but I would recommend just, do exactly where your customers are. Okay. And United States and all those things. So this is just how it looks. Let's go into the ad set and let's look at the data. So looking at the data, this one has a 4x ROAS. That's crazy. Yeah. $400 in profit. Let's see how it it is doing. So $127 in ad spend. That's crazy. Like we spent $127 and we made back $400. Okay, this ad set is doing really well. So let's look into it. What makes a difference? Again, like I told you earlier, is that we start with one campaign and then we have like 3 or 4 different ad sets, and then we turn off the one that's not doing well. Well, in this case, everything is doing well, which is generally not what happens. Like sometimes, only sometimes, you have all 3 campaigns make money right away from get-go. But most of the times we don't have that. We typically have to turn off a couple of ad sets so that we can focus on the one that is actually making money. Even here as well, as you can see, this one is doing 2x and this one is doing 4x, right? 2x and 4x is almost like double the difference. If I can have 4x, why even have 2x? So this is still a big difference. But again, this is all profitable. They're all making money. So let's keep it running. You know, why not keep it running? So let's go into this ad set, the one that's making money. Again, like I said, a website purchase, always do it for purchase. Attribution standard, 7-day click, 1-day engaged view, 1-day view. So that's fine. Again, start date should be at the midnight. We have it February 20. Now you may ask like, hey, what happens when the end date is here? Well, what you do is that you change the end date. So if it's on February 20, then change that to March 20 or change that to April 30. And when you change the end date, you're going to raise the budget. Make sure to raise the budget. Whatever budget you have, that's going to be divided to that new end date. Whenever you change the end date, make sure to change the budget as well. Location, country, United States. So for us, all of our customers are in US. I typically recommend going double down onto the country where your customers are. So for us, we may have some people from Canada and Australia and New Zealand, all those things. We may have some people from UK and Europe, but we noticed that 90% of our people come from US. So because of that, we're actually doubling down on US. And that is great because Facebook knows exactly who your customers are. And US, you know, it has lots of people. We have not completely run out of our market yet. Like it's a big market. We have tons of customers that we can sell to. And I think we can do a better job. There is no need for us to go outside. Typically what I've noticed is that when you go outside of US, they have different laws, different system, different process, and they have different currencies, right? They deal in different currencies. They run in different currency and they have different language. They have different accent. So working with them can be problem sometimes, right? Sometimes you have to explain things that they don't understand. So I kind of don't want to go into that hassle early on in the business. Now, if you're making $1 million a month, right? And if you want to scale even more, even bigger, then of course, at that point, it makes sense. Okay, do whatever you want. But early on, if you're only spending, let's say $100,000 a month and making $200,000, $300,000 a month, you're still too small. You're like a small business. You're not even a small medium business. You're not even a medium business. You're a small business. $100,000 is not a lot of money. And if you're spending $100,000, you're a freaking small business. Okay. And if you're a small business, then focus on one country. Don't go outside of the US. In terms of digital targeting, as you can see, we have MAC Cosmetics, NARS Cosmetics. You have Urban Decay. So those are some cosmetic brands that we're targeting. This is something that we have noticed is that find interest that nobody else is targeting. So in my previous offer, we had a real estate course. Okay, so we had a real estate program, and guess who we're going after? Our audiences were cosmetics, people who like beauty product, people who like dog, people who like grandparents and grandkids. We were shocked. How are we selling a real estate course to people who like dog? I don't know, but for some reason it works. We were running ads to people who like trucks. Now that makes sense, right? Typically in real estate, you are driving truck, going from one place to another place, you know, all those things. We had also obvious audiences. We have Home Depot, we had home improvement, we had room renovation, like we had all those interests that worked. Those were obvious interests, and that's great. But the highest ROAS came from actually this weird interest that we hadn't thought that it would work. So those are the interests that I would highly recommend testing. If there is even a small possibility, I would recommend testing it because you never know how good it may work. The next thing that we do that you may have noticed is that languages. We always do English, US or UK, because yes, there are people in US, you know, from different countries and all those, which is fine. But we have noticed that people who tend to know how to speak English make more money, right? That's just what it is. Like they are high value customers. They understand English, which means they're most likely from US. We don't want to show to someone from Mexico coming to US, the person that do not understand English as much, even though that person may be interested or might be a right fit. We just have a language barrier. So I don't want to show my ads to different people. I want my ads to be shown to the people who are in the US and can speak English. For example, the other thing is that, you know, if we have, let's say, someone from Switzerland visiting to US, I don't want to show my ads to the guy from Switzerland, even though he is in US, you know, if that makes sense. So those are all the things that we do. I would never recommend to switch to recommended setup, because when you do that, it is just gonna give full access to Meta and it just goes completely haywire. Sometimes you may get lucky, it works. Sometimes you don't get lucky and it doesn't work, but it is very hit and miss, and most of the time it doesn't work, and it is going to show your ads to people that you're not supposed to show your ads to. Just randomly go show ads to different people. Now, if you look from outside, the CPM, okay, the CPM, which is the metric right here, do recommended setup, your CPM is going to be cheaper. It's because it's showing ad to everybody. It doesn't matter whatever, whoever, it's just showing ads to everybody, and it is going to utilize unused inventory. It is going to run ads to people that normally other people wouldn't run ads to, and that's why your CPM is going to be cheaper. But your cost per purchase, your cost per unique sales is probably going to go up, and you want a cheaper cost per sale. I don't care about my CPM. I would rather pay higher CPM if I can have higher ROAS. That's just how we do things. I'm going to actually talk about placements as well. So let's go into the placements, which is right here. So you have devices, mobile devices, all those things. You have platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram. As you can see, we don't run ads on Messenger. We don't run ads on Audience Network, and we also don't run ads on Threads. We only run ads on Facebook and Instagram. And even then as well, dive deeper into this, even then as well, we only run ads to Facebook newsfeed and Instagram newsfeed. We have seen again and again, the other placements just doesn't do well for us, but Facebook feed and Instagram feed has been very, very consistent for us, and they just too many options, and it's a hit and miss. Like, it works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes, but Facebook and Instagram works really well. The whole goal of running ads is to find out what works and what doesn't work. And for us, we know what works. Facebook feed and Instagram feed works. So we want to make our ads better for that platform. For example, if I knew that Instagram stories or Instagram reels works better for us, then we're going to make video that's just for Instagram reels. But we know it doesn't work for us, so we are doing Instagram feed and Facebook feed. That's just how we do on placements. Let's go into the ads. Let's see what's working. So we can also look at the date created as well. So I use that sometimes. And over there, December 16th. So it looks like this ad has been running for almost about a month, because it's January the 14th right now. So almost about a month. And looking at the data, this campaign is doing good, and this campaign is doing really good as well. So yeah, $3 spent, we made a profit of $132, so that's quite a bit. This one we spent $91 and we made a profit of $302. So we had 5 purchases here and we had a 1 purchase from these ads, and the other seems to be not running as much. So we can actually turn off some of these ads if we wanted to. And let's go here. So let's look into other ad set as well, and this is how it looks like. Let's refresh this. So we have $400 spent. We made $776 in profit. Okay, profit meaning after the ad spend. Okay, so we probably made like $1,200, $1,100. As you can see, we had 15 purchases and our cost per unique sale is $27. This data is not accurate. You never know. Like, how can you verify, right? There's just no way to verify this is accurate. But if I can click on it, I can see the exact email and then the amount they bought. So all of this data is right here. So this is how we do things. Let's go into a different campaign as well, so I can give you one more example. So we just went into cosmetics. Let's go into this one. So this is a phase 1. If I go into the campaign, we'll show you what we have. Okay, so this is also a campaign budget CBO. This is also a lifetime budget. As you can see, we do a tons of lifetime budget. So this is a strategy that's working for us right now. If it was not working, we wouldn't be doing. And the proof is that, we have the proof, right? The proof is right here. Let's expand this, and the proof is right here. We have 63 purchases and our cost per sale is $15. Again, this data in the ads manager is not accurate at all. So if I was to look at all the data, it was created on November 25. So it's been running for a while. So we're in January right now. So it's been running for more than a month, almost 2 months now. So ROAS is 2.32. So we only have 1 ad set on this. We started some campaign with just 1 ad set, but we typically have 1, 2, 3 to 4 different ad set. If I was to go into this, you will see the same thing. Purchase, right? We use the same formula that works for us. Standard attribution model, 1 day engaged, right? All those things. 12 a.m. always run the ads in the midnight United States. In terms of age, as you can see, we excluded the buyers because we don't want to keep showing our ads to people who have already bought, right? So those are excluded. 50 plus, as you can see, gender, all gender, and then interest is right here. So we're targeting golf of courses. So Cyprus Point Club, which is about 5 million interest, 5 million audience size. This one has 32 million and this one has 7 million. So that's almost like 35. Now that's almost like 45 million plus of audience size. So yeah, we go pretty big. I know some people have like super narrowed down, like, oh, people like golf and then this and then this. All right, we don't do that. We only like have broad targeting. This is pretty broad, right? 30, 40 million, 50 million is pretty broad, but I would never go like 1 million audience size. That's too small. And then let's look at the placements. Same thing as before, all devices meaning mobile and desktop. And then we have all mobile devices, Android, iOS, all of that is included. In terms of platform, Facebook and Instagram, as you can see, we don't run ads on Audience Network, no Threads, no WhatsApp, no Messenger, none of that. In terms of placements, let's go deeper. We have Facebook feed and we have Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. I believe my team may have identified that Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels does better, which we have seen in the past. Reels seems to do a little bit better, but not as much. They don't have as much volume, which I can go deeper into. So I can do breakdown and let's do impression device. This is actually not an accurate data right here, but let's just look into this. If I go impression device, that's not the right one. Let's use a different. Let's go to delivery. Placements. Let's go to placements. And yeah, Facebook Reels has it has tons of clicks actually, which is pretty interesting. So it looks like a lot of the clicks is actually coming from Facebook Reels, and the cost per click is pretty cheap as well. We have Facebook feed that's doing pretty good as well. So Facebook Reel in app and Facebook Reel in mobile web. Okay. And Facebook feed in desktop. So it looks like Facebook Reel in app is doing pretty good. So that's good to see. Yeah, that's what we have. And then if I was to go into the ads, let's remove the breakdown and let's see the data from the Chrome extension. And here, this one ad is doing the best. If I was to show you the ad, this is the ad. And now I get it, because a lot of our videos are actually made for Facebook feed, but this one is actually a big mobile video. Like this is pretty good. This is good for the Reels. So we actually made a video just for the Reels and it's doing pretty good. So if I was to show you, we have $1,300 in profit. So that's looking good, above average. So it has pretty good engagement. It's actually looking pretty good. So that's good to see as well. We have other videos, but it looks like this one is the best. Yeah. This is what Facebook does, and I'm personally not a big fan of it, but Facebook does this and I don't know what to say, right? Which is that it will only spend money is the one that it thinks is the best. For example, I mean, this could have worked too. This could have worked as well. This could have worked too, right? But it is not spending money because this one ad right here, it's working so well. The Facebook thinks that this is the winner. This is the one that's making money. Let's double down on it. And Facebook does that quite often. And to be honest, I don't mind, because as long as I'm making money, I don't mind. So what I typically would do is that I would turn off the one that is not working and then just keep the one running that is working. And then I will launch a new campaign or new ad set. And then I will only have these other ads that I want to test. And then I'll just test those different ads and then go from there. So this is the process that I follow. This is how I scale my info product. This is, I forgot to tell, maybe, I don't know, but this ad that I'm running is for a book. It's in a finance niche. It's for a book. It's an info product. It's making money. As you can see, it's working and we are spending more and more money. And yeah, we've done almost 100,000 plus in ad spend in the last 30 days, $26,000 in ad spend. We're spending even more. We're planning to spend even more. The revenue, it says, is about $46,000, but the revenue is even more. So yeah, we're excited to grow this. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, let me know in the comments down below so I know to make more. All right.